The two women quickly chased after her. Eventually, they gave up, but Adaego kept running until she reached a river. She then crossed a bridge and found a new home, starting another phase of her life. Adaego met a young lady of the same age, and the two became good friends because they have similar misfortunes. Nanza had always been a great support to Adaego. Anyone meeting them for the first time would think they were sisters. Despite sleeping outside, they were grateful for each day they woke up safe. Nanza, who lost her mother, was disowned by her father due to her stepmother's influence. She had a tough life after living with relatives who eventually died or rejected her, calling her bad luck. She found herself homeless. One night, after eating soaked curry, Adaego suggested, "Nanza, I think we should rent an affordable hut. It is too risky staying here." "You are right. I never thought of that. How much do we have in our savings?" Nanza asked. "100 cowries," Adaego replied. The girls had started saving from their earnings, doing manual jobs, and using some of the money to buy and sell during market days. "Tomorrow, we will look for an affordable hut," Adaego concluded. The next day, they found a place in a rural area and negotiated with the landlady, paying 50 cowries for 3 months. "Adaego, you are the mastermind behind all this. I don't know what I would do without you." Nanza praised her as they ate in their new home, lying on a mat. "Nanza, stop kidding. You helped me when I was stranded. I don't know where I would be without you," Adaego replied, and they hugged each other with tears of joy in their eyes. The girls were very hardworking and determined to succeed. One evening, on their way back from their daily hustle, they came across a pretty lady slowly walking up to them and waving for them to come closer. They approached her, and the woman inside introduced herself. "I am Ebere," she said. "Can I know your names?" she asked. The girls looked at each other and replied, "I am Naza." "And I am Adaego. I have noticed you girls going to work, and I must say, you are indeed hardworking," Ebere said. "Thank you so much, ma'am," the girls replied. "I have an offer for you," Ebere continued. "I work in the palace of a wealthy king, and we have been asked to select young boys and girls to be trained for services in the palace. Are you interested?" "Yes, ma'am," Nanza replied immediately. "Ma'am, please give us some time to think about it," Adaego said. "Okay, girls, I hope to hear good news," Ebere told them, also telling them how to locate her in case they decide. At home, Nanza spoke to Adaego. "Girl, I'm tired of suffering. I think we should accept the offer." "Nanza, I have seen a lot. All that glitters is not gold. Let us work and make our own money. Nothing comes easy, Adaego replied. Let us go, or I will go alone, Nanza insisted. Please don't say that, Adaego responded. No, I mean every word I say, Nanza replied firmly and went to sleep. Adaego was speechless and confused. Early the next day, Nanza woke up without saying a word to Adaego, which she had never done before. Adaego called her and said, I have made up my mind to accept the offer. Really? Nanza asked, hugging her out of excitement. They went in search of Ebere to tell her the news with the address she gave to them. When they got there, they met some other young people and then they were all given new clothes. All of them behaved like siblings, except for Amara and Oma, the arrogant sisters who acted as if they were superior. On the day they were supposed to travel, something unexpected happened. They were informed that they would be traveling by water instead of by land. Ebere explained that there was war at the front of where they were supposed to go through. She told them the only way also was to go back and wait till whenever the war ends. Desperate, they decided to take the risk, even though some were hesitant. There were 48 of them in total. Traveling by water was very dangerous, and tragically, 9 of them died. They cried as they had to throw the bodies into the water. Upon arriving, a man came to collect them and took them to a large house in a secluded area. They were taken to a room where they saw people in chains. The faces of Oma and Amara showed their shock and fear. Early the next morning, a woman named Nana addressed them. Hello, I am Nana. You were told about working in a wealthy palace, but unfortunately, that was a lie. She began. Ebere sold you all to us as slaves, and you will have to do whatever we tell you all to do. Anyone who tries to run will be killed when caught. They all became very scared. Well, she continued, you will need to divide into groups. You will do illegal work and report back to me, she concluded, pointing at them. Nana called Ike and instructed him to take necessary actions. Ike read out the rules and regulations to everyone and, along with some workers, marked their shoulders. He warned them never to reveal their identities and not to think of escaping. He divided them into 3 groups: forced labor, prostitution, and bandits. Adaego was placed in the bandit group, while Nanza ended up in the prostitution group. The 2 sisters cried together, feeling helpless, and wished each other well. Adaego was fortunate to be assigned to the bandit group. Ike had picked her and a few other girls for their intelligence. Most of the girls, including Amara and Oma, were forced into prostitution. Everything seemed to be going smoothly as they tried to please Nana, until one day tragedy struck. Nanza was brought back dead. She had been stabbed by a man who refused to pay her after their encounter, and she refused to leave him. Adaego was devastated and cried endlessly. Consumed by grief, she starved herself for days and spoke to no one. Despite not recovering from her sister's death, Adaego had to continue with her life. She was full of sorrow and feeling worthless, often seen talking to herself. One day, after a stealing operation and narrowly escaping the bodyguards of that kingdom, she bumped into someone. She bumped into Ekene, who had been one of the palace guards before the war and had served Adego's parents. "Adaego!" he called out, and she shouted, "Ekene!" As they hugged each other, they went to a joint together, and while eating, they caught up. "Adaego, what are you doing here? How are your parents?" Ekene asked. "I don't know if my parents are dead or alive." Adaego replied and told him everything that had happened in detail. He felt so sorry for her. Adaego then asked him what he was doing in that kingdom. "Well, after we all ran away, I went to my maternal village and my uncle sent me here for work. As you can see, I have made it." "Wow, I'm glad to hear that," Adaego said, but her mood shifted. "Adaego, you don't look happy. What is wrong?" Ekene asked. "I am tired of being alive. I live a meaningless life. My parents are gone. My best friend is gone too. Can you imagine that I am a thief?" Adaego lowered her voice and confessed. Ekene exclaimed, "Gods of our land, I stay with Madam Nana. There are many of us in her house, and we are all involved in illegal activities like stealing, forced labor, and prostitution," Adaego explained. "But here in the community, everyone knows Nana runs a shelter for the homeless." Ekene replied, "It is not a shelter. We are all held captive there." Adaego said, "Please, I need you to involve the king and the elders. I am tired of my lifestyle here," Adaego pleaded. "Okay." Ekene wrote down the location to her and requested they meet on the next market day so they would go to the king and report Madam Nana. Ekene gave her the address and some money before they parted ways. Early the next morning, Adaego was washing clothes when Nana struck her left hand with the written address Ekene had given her. "Adaego, what gave you the guts? Are you trying to expose me?" Nana accused. "No, ma. I am sorry." Adaego apologized. "You must be sorry for yourself," Nana retorted. She called Ike. "Come and lock her up for 3 days. No food or water." "Please, ma," Adaego pleaded. "I would have asked for your head, but you are valuable to me," Nana said as they took Adaego away. On the day they agreed to meet, Ekene was waiting for Adaego. Ekene paced anxiously. What could have happened? He wondered, waiting patiently for Adaego. What could have really happened? He went straight to the king, explained everything to him and his elders, who claimed to know Nana as the founder of a shelter. The king instructed his elders to take some guards to the house and arrest Nana. Together with other men, they went to Nana's house. They arrived at Nana's house. and quickly surrounded it. The boys, confused and speechless, surrendered their weapons. They were all arrested, including Nana. As they stepped out of the compound, some people brought in Oma's body. The guards had caught her stealing, and when she tried to run, they shot her. She was taken to the herbalist but couldn't survive. That day also marked the day of their freedom. Amara, however, wasn't happy. She missed her sister. She watched as they dug the grave and buried her sister immediately. The others were overjoyed. They united with their family and relatives, who were thrilled to see them after several years. Adaego was grateful to Ekene. She gave him a surprise hug and asked, "Ekene, I did not treat you well when I was a princess, but you helped me." "Yes, Adaego, your parents were good to me, and I don't repay evil with evil," Ekene replied. Adaego apologized as she went to see the others. Amara approached her and knelt down. "Adaego, I am so sorry for abusing you, doing all those bad things, and also telling Nana you had a piece of paper that contained an address. Please forgive me." "I have already forgiven you," Adaego replied. "Are you sure?" Amara asked, doubting. "Yes, I am sorry for the death of your sister," Adaego replied. "Thanks," Amara said. "Friends?" she asked, offering her hand to Adaego. "Friends," Adaego said, shaking her hand in approval. Weeks later, their trip back to their various communities was successful. Adaego missed Naza, her only family on earth. She got a place with the help of Ekene and decided to start a new life. One sunny afternoon, Ekene came to her house and told her he wanted to take them somewhere. She followed Ekene through some bushy area. She was confused, but Ekene assured her that she was safe. He stopped in front of a hut and knocked gently on the door. Adaego was anxious. When the door opened, it was Adego's dad, the king. She hugged her father, and both father and daughter cried tears of joy. She missed her family, but was thankful to the gods that her father was still alive, although her mother died. Her father told her he had been looking for her everywhere and couldn't find her. When he went to the maid to get her back, he was told she died of an illness and asked her why she didn't return home. But she told her father the maid had lied to her that her parents died. While she was talking with her dad, a young boy came in and greeted them. She asked her father if he was his houseboy, but the king replied, "My princess, don't be annoyed. He is your stepbrother. Years after the war, after I lost everything, I met this young lady whom we decided to settle down together. But after she gave birth to our son, she died. Father, I am not annoyed. I am glad that your lineage won't end," Adaego said. "I am also glad, my daughter," the king replied. Nana was sentenced to death by stoning with all those involved. With the help of Ekene, Adaego united with her family and became the princess. You were expecting Ekene to marry Adaego, right? Instead, Adaego married a prince from a wealthy kingdom. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up. Bye.